Welcome viewers. Good evening. Ni hao. Ni hao.
Vanakkam.
So this is the Indo-China relationship, the way beyond. இதான் வந்து இப்போ India and China are going to have, already they have a bit of norm in the trade and commerce. A lot of give and take is happening, but here with me are my friends from China, from ANJ Consulting, Mrs. Jenny Chen and Arjun Natarajan. Welcome to Salem.
Thank you, Doctor. Welcome. Hello, and ni hao to the viewers also.
So, இவங்கெல்லாம் வந்து அங்கே கன்சல்டிங் கம்பெனி இன் சைனாவில் வச்சுருக்காங்க. இவங்க சேலம் வந்திருந்தப்போ ஐ வாண்டட் டு கெட் சைனாவை பற்றி அவங்களோட இன்புட்ஸ் டைரெக்டாக என்ன சாப்பிட்றாங்க, அவங்களோட எக்ஸசைஸ் ஸ்கெடியூல் என்ன, எஜுகேஷன் என்ன, பிஸ்னஸ் எப்படி இருக்குது, அங்கே எப்படி இருக்குது, நாம் வந்து அவங்களோட டைப் ஆகணுன்னா என்ன பண்ணணும், இதெல்லாம் தான் நான் கேட்க போகிறேன். அண்ட் அவசியம் பாருங்கள் அண்ட் ஷேர் பண்ணுங்கள். ஸோ த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கொஸ்டின், Jenny, is where in China are you from and what is your background?
Okay, so where I'm from actually is similar to Tamil Nadu. It's south of China.
Okay.
So province called Zhejiang.
Okay.
And I'm from Wenzhou, which city is more entrepreneurized.
Okay.
And I'm from also business family as well.
Oh.
So I do my company. Since I'm graduate from school, and then I go to Zhejiang University for MBA. That's where I met my partner.
Okay.
Yes.
Lovely. So the university you said is in which country? The MBA you did in China or?
So the school we studied in for the MBA. So it's a joint consortium of 3 business schools.
Oh, okay.
So we have a French business school, a Chinese business school, and an American business school.
Oh, okay.
So together they offer the MBA program for a global perspective.
Okay.
So I did it from the French business school, and she is from the Chinese school. So
Oh,
we get to
okay.
experience each of the schools over a span of a 1-year program.
Wow. So you get the culture and feel of all 3 different countries.
Definitely.
That's good. As far as education is concerned, what percentage of people are educated there in the city and in the rural side?
I think for college, it will be, I think can cover 70 to 80.
Wow.
Yeah, that one. Especially for city, I think can cover more than that.
Okay.
Because in China also we have very developed cities and province, but we do have some undeveloped as well. So
Okay.
compared to that, developed will be much higher.
Higher, okay. So education levels are far higher. She says about 80 to 90% of the people are educated to a large extent. So that's glad to hear. And now what is the perspective of an average Chinese person have about India?
Oh, actually, I feel not only Chinese people to Indian people or to India. I think both way will not understand each other very well. Though we are neighbors so long time and we are so big countries. We said China is dragon, but here is tiger. So India, the tiger will be wake up. I think already wake up, right? So for us, it's I think now still need media channels to communicate and people will understand more, because to now very limited, but since last year I noticed Indian movie Bollywood very popular in China.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when you mention India, wow, Bollywood, Amir Khan, everybody know him. So it's nice. This is good start actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. So through movies, through culture, if
Yes.
we start mingling and understanding each other, that's better. So now the lot of similarities in culture exists.
Yes.
Food habits, we eat rice. Now we have also started eating noodles. So what is predominantly in your plate in the morning, afternoon and evening? What is your kind of food which you take? Because we also want to become as lean as you and fit.
Yeah.
If possible, even the skin tone.
I do believe Indian girls have this similar. Yes. Actually, for us, I cannot say Chinese food is the most balanced or most healthy in the world, but will notice this. We have conscious more. So for the breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I think the food actually not all the ingredients will be not that much difference.
Okay.
But what I feel is the time is very different. For us, the breakfast will be 7 to 8 o'clock. The perfect time is 8 o'clock. But here is 10 or 9.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit late for us. Because you mentioned the outfit as well. So I think the major part is not because what you are eating. And actually, is for my notice is the dinner time is too late.
Okay.
Yeah. For us, like later than 7 usually will not eat.
Okay.
Yeah. Also some girls will be skip dinner as well. So that's not good, but yes, we will balance that.
Okay.
Yes.
And what is the ingredients? Morning, what does a Chinese home have for breakfast?
For breakfast, we will have porridge.
Okay.
Sometimes some light noodle and the fruit and milk and bread like that. But Western bread is not that popular. We have our bread.
Okay.
It means baozi.
Okay.
Baozi. You can explain the baozi.
So baozi is like number or cake shape. It is always in a cake shape. If you go to a tea stall, you get the bun.
Bun.
So in that shape, it's a bread, and
Okay.
it's made of wheat or some grain mixed with it, and a little bit dates and raisins are also put in it.
Okay.
So it's more of a healthy bread, unlike the English breakfast bread you have.
Okay.
So they have that with sweet or a little without sweet and a little bit with sauce.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. So, and for lunch and dinner?
For lunch, we have a saying, for breakfast you have to eat like a king. So
okay.
you have to take all the nutrition balance. And the lunch you can take whatever you want, you like. You can feel free, more free like that. But for dinner it will be more lighter. Very light. So we cannot. But what I notice is dinner for you guys, you still eat that much. Actually, you don't have to because you will go to sleep soon. So that's why I think we put up.
Okay. That's why I think we are putting on weight. So please guys watch it. Finish your dinner by 6:37 max.
Yes.
And how about tea? I see a lot of Chinese taking herbal teas and and do you add milk to your tea as well?
Oh, actually, for both country, India and China, we are famous about tea, right? The tea leaf is there. It's actually the same, but how we drink actually is very different. For us, we like all the tea leaf. We take the original flavor. We not add sugar. We not add milk at all. Yeah, we're so uncomfortable about it. But for bubble tea, is another story. Bubble tea is not tea for us. So tea, it means the original tea leaf like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I've been to China a couple of times, and it is very rare to find somebody on the heftier side. What is the secret? Is it the gene or is it your lifestyle?
No, actually, it's never about the gene because we also very easy put on the weight as well.
Okay.
But firstly, is the habit of the meal time is very important. Then exercise. We do exercise very often. Yes, and for daily, every day we will after dinner we will take a walk. That family time, and we walk. And I think this is easier for digestion, and then go to bed will be healthier. Yeah. And
I love
yeah.
that with family you go for a walk.
Yes.
Here we don't get adequate time to spend with family.
Yes.
It's no excuse though, but yes, we'll start following that. So that's why I think you have built the China Wall, the Great Wall of China, to go exercise.
Yeah.
We have only the Taj Mahal, so small round only.
Yeah. And every week, like weekend, or some people will take a night. Every week we will have 3 or 4 times for jogging or any swimming or this. We have very strong conscience to do exercise. Not only keep us the outlook, actually it's more for health. So we have very strong conscience than here, I feeling.
Correct, correct. Actually, I feel China is at least about 20-25 years ahead in a lot of things, from health, wealth, happiness, the infrastructure. Infrastructure is way beyond. I cannot even imagine. Probably about 50 to 100 years in certain areas. So now, when you were a child, did you see China in this level, or there? I see huge development in the last 20 years.
Yes.
So what is that? What is the secret?
Because from I born. My kid time, I tell people like now I come India. I feel here now like Ceylon, China is more like that time of
Okay,
China.
when you were in
my
childhood.
kid, yeah, childhood. So actually, that time we're so poor. That's why we always eager to find an opportunity to let us grow, and we have to find food. So that time. I feel like everybody is eager to make money and to grow. And also the government help us to you have resource and help you with entrepreneur. That time nobody knows it's entrepreneur. We do trading.
Okay.
So yeah, we don't have the conscious about anything but to make money.
Okay.
Yeah, but government will be very helpful that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how is it as of now? Now it is a grown economy. Are they still in that helping mode? If you have to start a company, in the sense a manufacturing company, how is it? Meaning, do you have to go to multiple places, or you have a single window system where you can get things done?
Oh, okay. So for this extent, actually, China now, I don't know other province or city, but in Hangzhou, where I'm from, Zhejiang province, actually, they are now moving to very high technology based, and also for all the procedure, maybe he experienced the ones with me, and everything will be submit online. And also, if you at last all the things get approved, then you only have to go there for one time and one window. You can get all the things done. And they have very strict policy. The most you only can come once. So all the people come there. If the twice time you go, it means they're not doing the job done. So it's their problem. They will have a window. You can complain there. So why they let me come the second time? Then that officer will have problem.
Oh.
Yes, very strict one.
To simply put, they take our feedback. Any person going into the government office to submit, they take the feedback very seriously. And even if one person complains that all the government officers are slow, then the higher officer really takes strict action. So they don't want you to come back and resubmit it again. So they'll have printers, scanners, facility, all internet facility available right in the office, all for free of cost. So in case you missed printing out a document, in case you do not have a document, have it ready. You can do it right then and there and submit just on the opposite side.
My God,
Yes.
amazing. Now, now, getting to your, your firm, A and J. What does A and J mean?
All right. Okay. So any Chinese company in China should have a Chinese name. So, and since we are a foreign company or an international company, so we also are required to have an English name. So A and J Consulting International is our English name, and A and J is being the two co-founding partners of the company, Arjun with A and Jenny Chen with J. That's what A and J stands for. And being a consulting company, Consulting International.
Okay, Hangzhou.
Yes.
Hangzhou, right?
Yes.
Hangzhou is, I understand, is Alibaba's headquarters.
Yes.
That's right.
So you're in the epicenter of things happening there.
Yes.
How is Jack Ma ji? Have you met up with him? Have you seen him? Because I have seen humpty number of videos of his. He's an amazing person.
Yes.
Yeah. So your first-hand flesh and blood. Have you seen him?
For me, like this distance, no, but on the stage, yes.
Okay, that is itself is enough.
Another thing is, though we are founders in this venture, in this consulting venture, she also has another company that she runs. She's been an entrepreneur for 10 years in China.
Okay.
So we don't feel like we are a new or a startup company. We have been into the business industry for a very, very long time.
Okay.
So in the other businesses venture she has already gotten contracts from Alibaba.
Oh,
So
okay.
maybe she has not personally interacted with Jack Ma, but she has definitely met the other co-founders of Alibaba.
Alibaba.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So now Hangzhou. I've not been to Hangzhou. I've been to that province. Though Shanghai is in
close.
that very close by. So. What is their focus? What is the core area? I understand that China has got specialities for each area.
All right.
What is Hangzhou's specialty?
Hangzhou,
Apart from A and J.
Hangzhou now, because Alibaba and actually Hangzhou have a lot, many IPO companies of very huge one, big one there. Because Alibaba, they cover so like
They are like banyan tree.
Yes, yes. So actually, very big ones all in Hangzhou. Like I noticed in Indian market, we saw the security system, Haikang Vision, Dahua, this kind of all from Hangzhou.
Okay.
Yeah, though Hangzhou now we are more green city, so we're not in Hangzhou. There are no manufacturing companies anymore, but all the headquarters and the high technologies are all there. Consulting companies are all there.
So all the finance, all the IT companies are based at Hangzhou.
Yes.
It's like the next Shanghai in the making.
Well, you can say that, but we always in China we call it Shanghai it's like the New York of the East, and Hangzhou is also known as the Garden of Shanghai.
Yes.
Because Shanghai, everywhere you look, it's always tall buildings, skyscrapers, and in 1 hour by high-speed train you come to Hangzhou. It's a very scenic city, so it has all technology, but it doesn't have that many skyscrapers like Shanghai.
Okay, now we'll tell the Bollywood people to come and shoot over there.
Yes, definitely have.
Amir Khan, whom all you want to tell.
First one will be Amir Khan because he's so popular in China.
Okay. Okay, right, good. So Amir Khan ji, you can note this. You are a very popular person there, and now in terms of A&J's vision, what is that you have in mind for the near future and the far future?
One thing we have noticed between India and China is our relation. Though we've been neighbors for a very long time, our political, our economical relationship has not been that close. Meaning India is more closer to the US, more closer to Russia, Singapore, but not that close with China. So what we feel is that we want to take businesses between India and businesses in China to have a bilateral trade, bilateral exchange. So our focus is money and profit as a company is one side, but we want to bridge the business gap between both the countries. and that's our long-term vision.
Okay, so in that, suppose now I'm wanting, I have a kind of medical equipment manufacturing company. How do I shake hands with a Chinese counterpart there? What help can I get from you?
So we are connected with the governments in China, at least in our province. So that province is in charge of all the medical equipment manufacturing companies and responsible for their promotion, their development, their global expansion.
Oh, okay.
So we directly deal with the state government in China. To highlight that, we recently jointly hosted an expo or an exhibition called Medical 2019 in Chennai with the Chinese state government.
Oh.
So to showcase all the medical equipment manufacturers and new products to India. So this is to attract and showcase what China has to offer from our state to India. And we received a lot of positive responses from Indian hospitals, Indian buyers from the medical side.
Okay.
So to answer your question, we can connect you with the business companies there and with the government and see, what kind of best strategy suits you to enter the Chinese market.
Okay, so that would be in terms of tying up with the equipment companies there for the know-how,
Yes.
and also bilateral trade.
Definitely.
Okay, so viewers watching, the connect could be with the government of China or with the entrepreneurs in China, vis-a-vis over here with the governments of India, central state governments, and the entrepreneurs directly.
Definitely.
Right. So and their focus area is medical equipments, IT, infrastructure, and metal metallurgy, manufacturing, metal manufacturing, recycling and stuff. So they are, your vision seems to be very clear and focused. Now, between the two of you, which areas do you focus on one particular area and you do it? What is your core domain and his?
Oh, for me, actually, we do what the things we're good at. For me, I have a Chinese side, the resource. So Chinese side, I will deal with my Chinese people. So
Okay.
he will help the Indian side. So because we don't have that much time to explore each other's country. So
Okay.
firstly, we have to do what we're good at yet.
Okay, okay, good. So your experience, now you've got, now you've been, this is the second time you're coming into India. So how do you feel, your gut feeling? You know the Chinese culture, and now you're getting to experience the Indian culture. How do you feel the marriage is going to be?
I think we definitely can work out, but we both have make it more localized, including all the companies. Maybe we have so huge population. Our environment nowadays just the earlier China. So for us, it's here's more like time machine here. I back to my childhood that time. So I can see it's developing, and I do believe India will be spend less time to reach China nowadays. Now the infrastructure, because nowadays all the talents, all the technology will move it faster.
Okay, good. So, how is the the language barrier? Now, when I visited China, the one difficult, challenging thing was language, and the other is food. So, how is it evolving now?
Okay, as a foreigner, I believe I can best answer that question. At least in the developed side of China, in the eastern coast, especially in cities like Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, Hangzhou. So every public sign, let it be a road sign, a metro subway line, all of them and the maps have the Chinese version, and beneath them they have the English script written. So for foreigners can read and understand where to go. So why they are doing this is to attract more foreigners and to make their life very convenient. And see, definitely speaking Mandarin is not very easy like speaking Korean, French, or German. It's I would say it's one of the difficult languages to learn, and because it's a very high context language. And for me, I do speak a certain amount of in a casual setting, I speak some amount of Mandarin, but on a formal setting, I still have a long way to go. So there are times I use a translating app. There are times, if they do not understand, you have to show them a picture of something. That's how a lot of foreigners get around. And for the food, it's very subjective. And if you're someone who cannot tolerate spice, or you cannot tolerate a lot of meat, then you would miss out a huge amount of the Chinese food. It's not something very dry. They have a lot of sauce in it. They like it with a lot of soup. They don't like eating plain noodles. A lot of soup-based noodles. And fresh food. They always prefer fresh food, not preservatives, not junk food like your McDonald's and Burger King. So that's something that I've noticed.
Okay, so you feel it's more healthier?
Definitely, I would feel compared to the Western countries and European countries, that Asian food in general is much, much healthier. But in India, why we don't see that is we feel we are more westernized. Though in China, they are much more westernized than us, but they've still kept their strong culture intact. And here, we feel, at least personally, I feel our next generation, take my nephews, my aunt's kids, they are losing more on the Indian culture to the Western culture.
So, viewers, especially youngsters, please watch this very carefully. Please keep your culture and values intact. So, when it comes to values, I want to know how is the value system in your home setting. How, meaning now here in India, now I see a huge transition in value systems getting eroded. How is it there? I hope you understand the question. Meaning the younger kids now are more to technology and this thing there. The value systems, meaning like respecting elders, greeting them, bonding, all that is decreasing now. How is it there?
In China, we have a similar problem. I cannot say no problem there, but at least my generation, we will have conscious about this. I will teach my son on the table, if the elder didn't start eat, you cannot touch your chopstick, so he will know that. And also we will teach them how to respect all the things, not only for elders, also take care of youngers, and also respect. Sometimes I even let my son know. Sometimes the ant is walking there. You cannot do that because you cannot kill them, because they have the right to living in the world.
Correct.
Yeah, that's how he get. Okay, we have to respect everything on the world. Because I said he's not harm you, he's not will kill you or anything. He didn't do that, so you just leave them there
alone.
Yes.
So nice, so nice, good. Now coming to the bilateral governments, how is the interaction between India and China as in the government level? Because now I see huge difference of opinion between US and China. How is it with India?
I would say it's compared to 3 years how it was to where we are today, it has picked up a lot in a positive direction. Even recently, in July, the first week of July, the new AP cabinet under the Chief Minister Reddy, his cabinet attended the 2019 World Economic Forum in Dalian, and they visited Beijing to talk about investment plans in Andhra Pradesh. So this shows that the government, at least some levels of the state government, are directly dealing with the Chinese counterpart, the Chinese government at some level, to increase and promote bilateral trade. And in September, President Xi is expected to come to Varanasi, to India, for a bilateral trade discussion.
Oh.
So Prime Minister Modi and President Xi will be in talks to promote further bilateral trade.
In Varanasi?
Yes, and he'll be visiting other cities also.
Okay.
So they have the summit there.
Wow, good. So that way Varanasi also gets to grow. So, that's really nice to hear. The bilateral trade develops here because there is a lot of unemployment, increasing unemployment is there, and hope things get better. The economy improves. So, how's the economy there? Right now, how's the economy doing?
How you
Well,
feel?
what we feel is China is very competitive. We do know that China is very aggressive and capitalistic in business, but the domestic market, they feel it very competitive. And if you're in the traditional or the conventional form of business, it's even more competitive.
Okay.
So if you're into the high-tech industry, like, something what Alibaba does, Tencent does, into the digital space, it is all right, because you always, every day you have to innovate something new and you're moving forward. But in a manufacturing industry, it cannot be the case. So when you have so many players doing the same thing, the production cost comes down also, and the profit margin also comes down. So that is where we come into the picture, helping a lot of these Chinese companies expand to global markets, from India to Southeast Asia, to all the way to Africa, but our focus being India primarily.
So, in terms of security, you mean as in external physical security, or what does secure mean?
So to give you a picture, we both lived in China and we have worked and lived in New York, US, and other cities also. So when we lived in New York, we used to hear gunshots like 2 or 3 blocks from where we lived. So you cannot hear a gunshot in China. So that whole sense, personally, I was not mugged, I was not robbed in New York, but I had my colleagues who've been robbed in the streets of New York. And we all look at America, New York as one of the biggest things on the planet. But that has never happened to me or to the immediate colleagues or friends I know in China.
Yeah, in China,
So, to show you that, how secure the country is.
in Hangzhou, you can drive a bike. You put your bag or purse there. Nobody will take. You just drive bike yourself, like
Yeah.
that kind of.
No, the reason is in that bag, money is not going to be there. What they'll steal.
Your phone.
So how has that happened? Why is it that meaning the value systems are so strong that this thing, it doesn't, there's no robbery there, or is that CCTV cameras are all around?
The cameras do play one picture, because everything can be accounted. So in case I'm not saying there are no crimes in China. There are crimes, but we know exactly who did it. So you cannot get away with it. Another major factor is, I would say, the digitalization and technology. Today in India, the man and woman in the society are pretty much almost at the equal state. Because initially, if you looked at 50 or 100 years back, the man did all the labor and woman was looked beneath, or as not exactly the same level as man. Given to technology, the woman can do the same work a man is doing.
Much more, actually.
In fact, yes. So that is exactly what has happened in China. So because of their fast globalization and digitalization, what has happened is women is able to do everything, and everything is transparent. So everybody, at least at most of the scales, they're looked at as an equal state.
Okay, great. So now, in the way forward, in terms of business, what do you feel we can take from China, and what we can give to China?
One thing is, we look at China has a very matured infrastructure that everybody keeps talking about, and it is true. They have a very, very developed infrastructure in logistics and telecom network that India is far behind on. But where India excels more than China is IT and the medical infrastructure. This is where India's strong suit actually lies, and we feel India should actually, send or teach China regarding the IT and the medical aspects of doing business, and it should learn what China excels in terms of infrastructure, logistics, and networks. 2 aspects to your question you asked, and that's a very common question that people generally ask about when you work in China. So the first thing being is, let it be a local city in Erode, when you go to a shop where you buy a plastic bucket, for an example, you buy a plastic bucket for 50 rupees and it says it's made in China. Have you ever thought about it? How can a bucket that's manufactured in China, being transported through ship, coming here and distributed, can be sold for 50 rupees? How can that guy make a profit? it logically does not add up. The numbers do not add up. What the actual scenario that happens is, and these buckets that when you use in 1 month or 1 week, when you completely fill it with water, it breaks up. I'm using a bucket as an example. What generally happens, let us say an American company gives an order for 1 million plastic buckets. The Chinese company makes it to their standard, and in any manufacturing industry, 8 to 10% or 15%, depending on the sector, always there'll be defective products that has to be scrapped. So once the 1 million buckets are made, the American inspection team from that company will look at them, and anything that's defective will be scrapped. So they buy the remaining good quality ones that's shipped to the US. And these defective ones are still left in the warehouse in the port authority or in the port region. And the rent have a warehousing in a port region is very expensive. It's almost 5,000, depending on the container size, $5,000 per day. So what does these companies do that make all of these products, though they know they have a defective product, they cannot just dump it. It's waste of money. So what they do is they call some traders living in Guangzhou, in Yiwu, in different parts of China. And generally most of these calls are made to Indian traders, because Chinese know Indians are very price sensitive, so as long as you offer them cheap, they'll buy it. So what this Indian trader does is he will not know what is in the container. He'll just know it's some manufacturing product. He'll take $10,000 in his bag and he'll go and he'll meet the company guy and he'll say, okay, I'll buy this product for, let's just say, $10,000. Maybe that product is worth more than 10,000, but the Chinese person doesn't have the bargaining power, because every additional day he spends in the warehouse in the port region, he has to pay almost 5,000. So to find another party willing to buy it, it'll take at least 3-4 days. So whatever price the Indian asks, he gives it to him. And what he does, the Indian, he'll call his brother or someone in Mumbai sitting in Gujarat or Kolkata, and he'll get the shipment there, and he will not even know what is there. That's when they'll open it and say, oh, it's defective plastic buckets. Then he'll go about selling it to a lot of these local shops, distribution channel. So that's why we feel the products are not of good quality. In fact, when any kind of an order or a business proposition is given to a manufacturing company in China, they will make it to the standard you ask for, given to the price.
Right.
And these traders in between are the people who are actually diluting the market. And we want to make that mainstream. If the Chinese company can come here and manufacture, it changes the whole system completely.
Okay. This is, I don't know whether you knew of this perspective, what is prevailing in India. If there is, they have a meaning. I have visited China, so I know the best of products are made there. And in the same this thing as he said, no, the defective or not so good products come into the developing world. So that for the viewers purpose, I wanted to ask this question. So what are the other great markets which are having traction on China?
Well, in fact, now every market wants a piece of China right now. The reason being is the US-China trade war. So US is a very, very big economy, and the next biggest economy is China. Now China is losing a lot on the US market, and because of a lot of regulations the Trump administration is passing. And India is trying to capitalize on that. Vietnam is trying to capitalize on that. West Africa is trying to capitalize on that, and a lot of other Indonesia, Southeast Asian countries. But the Chinese market is so big, so every
country can cater to everything, all of them.
So that's why governments, companies are working with the Chinese authorities and companies to have them come set up here. And one thing is, there is this story, I wouldn't say a story, but a talk we have in the business world. I mean, we all went to US, we all look up at US because of the innovative ideas, invention. Then China became a superpower. We look at China because of its technological sophistication and operation. Now India is emerging, and the entire world is focusing on India because of its market potential. So Chinese want a very big market like the US, and the only similar market close to the US at some level is India, not Indonesia, not Vietnam, not West Africa, not Cambodia, India. So they are more favorable to come to India, but there is no direct channel and an easy way to come to India. Navigating the Indian business environment to each state is very different, and you need professional services like us as a consulting company to help them out navigate and establish in India.
Okay. How now with your experience, how do you feel this whole thing is going to be? Do you find it, meaning which is tougher? Is the Indian market tough or the Chinese counterpart tough?
Probably I can give my thoughts and Jenny, you can add on to it. Doing it in China, B2B businesses are always easy. We do not do B2C, meaning that we only focus business to business. We do not do business to consumers. So in that case, whether let it be in India or let it be in China, it's always easy because you don't have to have a distribution channel to do anything. What we feel is if you, from an Indian company, if you want to go to China, depending on how much of resources and financial capital you have to invest, but the easiest route to go is have a joint venture with a Chinese company because they will already have certain resources, probably a market share, or probably they already cater to half of China. So, and you bring the technology. So that is something that we work around. But in this case, we always notice Chinese bringing in the capital and technology, and the Indian company helps you navigate the Indian market and do the distribution. So in that case, there is a lot of potential that can be picked up, and there is a huge amount of companies that are hungry to come to India. And in fact, we also have to understand, just because India needs foreign investment, it cannot completely take it from China alone, because that would become it'll be highly monopoly, and that would actually be bad for the Indian economy because we are not promoting the local traders, local manufacturers. So that is not a good thing that any government should not do. We have to find a balance to have foreign investments from China, from Japan, from any countries to come in, and also find how they can work with indigenous or local manufacturers also to develop together. We have to find, the government has to find this balance.
Okay. So you see potential for Indian markets to have for medical equipment manufacturing in India?
Yes.
Okay.
Reason being is we spoke with a lot of hospitals, big hospital chains in Chennai during our joint visit with the state government, and what most of them felt is that the money they pay to GE or Siemens or any other company, it's very expensive. And in fact, in Salem, to address to the local, we do not have a PET CT or an ultrasound in that case. This, if a Chinese manufacturer can make it, generally it's 1/3 of the cost, and of the similar standard, similar output resolution for an ultrasound machine. Then what happens is, even in Salem or in Erode, that kind of equipment, that kind of machine can come into it, and everybody, all the local people do not have to go to Chennai, do not have to go to Coimbatore or other places for this. It increases the convenience and the price is cheaper.
Okay. So in terms of trustworthiness between Chinese and Indian, what do you feel we need to work on as an Indian? What are the things we need to work on to gain your trust?
I cannot say what kind of improvement have to be here, because I feel this more culture stuff, and you guys, I think the most people good at bargaining. So this really we cannot used to. So we have saying how much you pay, how much you get. So if you ask for lower price, you cannot expect
good quality.
Yes, so everybody should know that you cannot bag here, but your quality you need is here. So we have to know that. But sometimes Indian they don't have good experiences. Okay, you ask for this money, but you expect this quality. So both sides they are not
matching.
Yeah, satisfied actually. So
Okay.
We have a saying, Doctor. Indians cannot live without a bargain, and Chinese cannot live with a bargain.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, we have this casual saying, because everywhere you go, Indians always want to, can I get a 5% off? Can I get a 10% off? Even when there are no discounter sales. But a Chinese, no, we cannot. I mean, we're giving you the best price. We cannot reduce it anymore.
So does this happen even in the retail counters as well? How's the bargain? Meaning is if I'm to go to buy a watch from a local vendor, should I bargain, or you feel it will be the correct price?
we also bag.
They bargain, but for an example, you go to a Rolex, you want to buy a watch. You go to a Rolex showroom in Shanghai. There you cannot bargain.
Yeah.
That's a fixed price.
Yeah.
But you go to someone selling
Market.
a local watch in his own small shop. That you can bargain. That I'm pretty sure it is in a pawn shop. It's worldwide. You go to US, you go to Japan. You can always, because they are small, you can bargain.
Yeah. Okay. So the culture varies. Here too as well. If you're going to the similar Rolex showroom here, it's
It does.
You go to mall, you have no chance to bargain.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
But
Okay.
one thing I noticed personally in China was here, you go to a tender coconut store, a fruit shop, local fruit shop on the street. We try to always bargain price. If he says 150, no, I'll give you 120, I'll give you 130, or I'll give it to you 100. There is that. There, Chinese, it's not, they do not bargain, but for people selling all these food vendors, these farmers who come sell their farm products, there they do not bargain. Maybe like the watches, a belt or a wallet or like in a roadside shoe shop, that they might bargain. But food products where farmers, through their hard work, they come sell it, that I've noticed Chinese hardly bargain. Whatever price the farmer says, take it.
Take it.
Yeah, even if it's older people, like 70 or 80 people, they sell whatever the food is. Somebody just give the money.
So nice.
Yes.
So nice. and there is always like look-alike watches, look-alike bags, Louis Vuitton bag available. So how does that meaning, is it manufactured in the same Louis Vuitton factory, or is it how does it come out in the market like that?
Okay, so one thing we have to notice is all your luxury companies such as Louis Vuitton, Prada, Gucci, and Valentino bags, shoes, handbags, all of them, though they're Italian and French companies by large, but the manufacturing company is actually owned or run by a Chinese in large.
Okay.
Let it be in Italy or in China. So these are authorized makers for those bags and those companies. So those are legally done and official brand recognized. But since all of the designs, all of the blueprints, the technology blueprints comes to China because the manufacturing is done legally in China, so they get leaked. So and there are a lot of other companies, local companies, because the blueprint, the design print gets leaked. So they make copies of it and they sell it by large across the globe.
Okay. So because the Rolex watches and all, it's very, very tough to make out whether it is a lookalike or original. So at least it will be about 70-80% of the normal, meaning normal make.
The look-alike, the feel of it, it can feel that. If for a Rolex watch, it can feel the same, it can look the same, but it will not function the same. See, for any watches or anything you pay, there is a brand value and there is the technology, the component value. So the component value is also high. So for them to actually reciprocate that same quality and precision a Rolex makes, even close enough, let's not talk about 100%, even 50% of the component and the mechanism in a Rolex watch cannot be copied by, let's just say, a $500 watch, a copy of a Rolex that's made in China. It's not the same. Okay. It might feel the same from a distance, but when you wear it and you see it, it's not the real white gold. It's not, you can really see the difference.
Okay. So now when you say facilitating businesses, now when a Chinese counterpart comes, and what level do you facilitate? Meaning, food, is it okay with you? In the Indianized Chinese food, is it okay with you?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. But we have some people, they only have, we call it a Chinese stomach. So they cannot get used to Western food as well, not only Indian food. I have something I like,
okay.
I don't like, but I'm okay with it. I can survive for
you can survive,
2 months.
Oh, 2 months you can survive. Wow, that's good. In Chinese thing, for me, if the Indian food is not there, and it's quite tough. I was in Wenzhou, one of the 4-star hotels, and even in breakfast, it was a lot different.
Yes.
No, I could only take the bread and butter.
Yeah, that's all. Maybe porridge, everything's so different.
So very different. So I'm glad that I was having dinner with you all guys, and you were saying, yeah, it is at least 85% of Chinese. So I'm glad that we are somewhere close by. And we could have asked the chef to, fine tune to your taste as well. No, the reason why I asked this question was for the Chinese business travelers. You need not worry. We have good, nearly good Chinese food
Yes.
available in India in most parts. If Salem can have it, the places where you're visiting definitely can. What does a Chinese business traveler want usually? What are the things which he wants? I understand, I am told that Japanese businessmen love golf. So then, they are also very much time conscious. They are very punctual kinds. Similarly, like that, what are those top 5 things a business traveler wants from China?
What we want, the first thing will be the environment. It will have the clean water, clean here. I heard some friends, they go to India for business. They cannot leave the hotel. So they meeting people in hotel, the lobby, and they eat in the hotel. If they go out, they think, oh, the street is so messy. Like, we cannot get used to that anymore. Yes, that's the thing.
The reason being is, it's not in China, you don't have street foods. Everybody eats in fancy hotels. You have street foods. Like in, I noticed in the US and in China, all the street food need food licensing, food
Yes.
certification. It has to be of certain standard. In here, when you walk down the street, all the local street food vendors, they can cook in any standards they want. So the hygiene of the food is highly compromised. There, if they don't have this kind of hygiene in cleaning the dishes, producing the food this way, their license is revoked. And when you don't have a license that way, people in China or in US will not come to your restaurant. Automatically, your profits decreases tenfold.
We have very high conscious about sanity. This is our very big difference. I notice at home, outside as well. Yeah.
So, Indian viewers, this is a big message for you. Cleanliness is the topmost priority thing they look at. And also the next is security, right? The security aspects as well. Meaning by and large, it's because of our CCTV cameras, the police is watching. That's kind of improving, but then cleanliness is so very important. Okay, this is a good point we need to focus on. So how's the drought levels there? Because here Chennai was zero on water some time back. So is there some problem like that?
So, I personally say that the public do not notice that problem, because in India, by and large, you can have your own borewell or a rig vehicle come take groundwater of your own. In China, an individual cannot go have his vehicle drill down and extract groundwater. All their water supply is controlled by the state government or the central government, depending on the province you are from.
Oh.
So in that case, the amount of water level and water harvesting is monitored by the government, whichever level of government that is. And they have a strong amount of the monsoon rainfalls, and the rivers are generally they're not dried up. There's always you call the perennial rivers, a year-long flowing. So I've never seen them dry up, at least the regions I visited in China. But here you go to Tiruchi, you just go around the Kaveri belt, you can see almost 87% of the river is completely gone. But there you don't notice that.
So tell me, how easy is it to settle in China?
Easy meaning, in terms of the paperwork, it's a lot complicated than let it be US or let it be Australia that we go to. But the cultural adaptation is what I would say it needs more attention to, because the Indian culture is very different, and the Chinese culture, we have a lot of similarities, but at the very fundamental level we have huge differences. Let it be eating by hand with chopsticks, how we present ourselves. Chinese are very conscious about how the outlook and presentation. We are more a little casual. It's not something that's bad or incorrect, it's just cultural shocks and cultural differences. So, and we don't have a sense of time. For us, time is not a big factor. For them, every minute counts. So by and large, if the cultural aspects can be accommodated and can be worked with you, then anybody can call China a second home.
Wow. Great. Well answered. Really nice. Yeah. So
I
a
get
lot of tuition has
impressive.
happened, I guess. Yeah. From the last interview to now. Excellent. So, how much marks do you give to Arjun for the presentation?
I think, yeah, 95.
Oh wow! So there's a lot of learning which has happened over time, and health, wealth, and happiness
Yes.
is our primary goal for every human or every living thing in the planet. So for that, I understand that China is focusing a lot on these health, wealth, and happiness. In terms of happiness, I want to know what do you concentrate on, and what is the government's contribution for a fulfilling life?
For us, because now material we all get, I think we don't have to worry about food or what will be no clothing. Actually, now we are more focused on spiritual, and the time, the quality time spend
spend
with
with
the
family.
family.
Oh,
This is
lovely.
very important. Not only your kid, also your elder generation as well. This is very highly emphasize all that. Yes.
Okay. So that is on the personal front. What is the government's contribution to, meaning have they felt that because you all are so time conscious, your efficiency levels are so high, I'm sure the stress levels also are high as well,
Yes.
from youngsters to the older
Yeah.
generation. So how is the government balancing?
In China, every age you can have your fun and you can have your own life. You don't have to sacrifice for anybody, and the government will be create the environment for you. For example, the elder generation, like my mother's age, they can every night they can go to the park to have the we call it square dance.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've seen that dance. Very
Yes,
nice.
yeah. Then for us, the younger generation, they will one community. They have all the empowerment. Our roadside, they will can have the jogging road for you. So just everything they just create for you to easier to do exercise, and for example, in the morning you can very easy to go to a park to practice Tai Chi, and for kids as well, they will in every community they will create something for every age.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's a lot to learn from China about the fulfilling life, the environment, the ecosystem. What do you want to tell to the viewers of India and China and the global viewers as well?
I think we're living in different culture and environment. I think the most important part is to respect each other, including all the culture, including the habit. Maybe you not get used to that, but you still have to respect. This is respect yourself actually. This
Perfect.
most.
So how do you say thank you in Chinese?
You can say 谢谢, right?
谢谢.
Yeah.
Okay.
谢谢.
谢谢 for your time, for your precious time with us in India, and so much we've learned, and we've shared to the world as well. Thanks a lot, Arjun, for your time, and Jenny as well. So we hope to catch up with you next time, with Jack Ma also.
Maybe.
Thank you for having us again,
Yes.
Doctor.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Viewers, again, thanks for being with us on NAMMAVAR Nigalchi, and you keep watching NAMMAVAR. You have different people coming. Already we've got foreigners, like the Mauritius health minister was here. I've interviewed them, and now from China. So you'll see more of international traffic on NAMMAVAR. See you till the next time in NAMMAVAR. Bye bye.
Bye bye.